This session is about understanding why your QMS isn't just a compliance requirement. It's a strategic asset that directly impacts speed, innovation, and long-term success. Here's what we'll cover together. First, why an audit-ready quality foundation matters earlier than most teams expect. Next, how that foundation actually speeds up development and regulatory submissions instead of slowing them down. We'll also look at how quality maturity influences investors, partners, and acquirers. And finally, when and how to start building this foundation without over-engineering too early. Quality often feels like friction, especially in early-stage teams, but it's actually a catalyst when done right. Many founders treat quality as something to deal with later, once the product feels more real. And regulatory requirements can feel complex, abstract, and disconnected from day-to-day work. But strong quality systems create speed, clarity, and fewer surprises. Quality isn't paperwork. It's execution discipline that helps teams move forward with confidence. To understand quality, it helps to understand the regulatory structure behind it. Regulatory frameworks work together to shape how devices are designed, built, and supported. The FDA's Quality Management System regulation governs medical devices in the U.S. and aligns closely with ISO 13485. ISO 13485 provides the global foundation for quality management systems in MedTech. ISO 14971 brings structured risk thinking into design and development. And EU MDR, Europe's medical device regulation, introduces stricter expectations for documentation, traceability, and oversight. Regulations aren't abstract. They define your journey from early design through post-market activities. In the pre-commercial stage, quality influences design decisions, testing, and submissions. Post-commercially, it governs manufacturing, monitoring, and continuous improvement. A QMS is not a binder or a checklist, it's a working system. It's the framework for designing, building, testing, and supporting a device. It connects requirements, risks, decisions, and evidence. It ensures consistency across teams and lifecycle stages. And it lives quietly in the background, supporting everything you do. When implemented well, a QMS becomes a strategic advantage, making you faster, more credible, and more fundable. It reduces rework and late-stage firefighting. It keeps engineering, clinical, regulatory, and quality teams aligned. It de-risks submissions and reduces delays. And it signals operational maturity to investors and acquirers. Let's look at how quality supports design and development. Design controls are structured innovation, not bureaucracy. They begin when development becomes formal. They connect user needs all the way through testing. They provide traceability, which drives clarity and speed. And they keep teams aligned as designs evolve. Risk management is the guardrail that supports smart decision-making. It starts with identifying hazards and potential harms, then prioritizing and mitigating risk, verifying that controls actually work, and maintaining a continuous link to design choices. Delaying quality work creates compounding costs. Unclear requirements cause repeated testing. Documentation gaps lead to pre-submission scrambles. Internal reviews become slower and less confident. and misalignment across teams creates duplicate work. Now let's look at the relationship between quality and regulatory submissions. A regulatory submission is really a quality audit. The FDA evaluates how you built and controlled your device. In the EU, a quality system audit is part of a product submission. And ultimately, submission is evidence of execution. Teams with a strong QMS submit from what already exists, while teams with a weak QMS reconstruct history under pressure. A strong QMS dramatically reduces submission risk, because traceability ties everything together. There are fewer documentation surprises. Responses to regulators are faster. And there's less need for additional testing or rework. Let's explore the impact of quality on manufacturing and commercialization. Quality becomes even more critical as you scale. Manufacturing processes are documented. Equipment is qualified and maintained. Lot and components are traceable. And builds are consistent and repeatable. Quality continues after a product launch. It includes complaint handling and investigations, managing nonconformances and CAPA, driving continuous improvement, and building trust with customers and partners. Let's look at the role quality plays in fundraising and exits. Investors look closely at quality. Quality is part of early-stage risk assessment. Investors want to know whether your QMS is real or theoretical, and whether it can scale beyond your first product. To investors, quality equals confidence. This becomes even more visible during diligence by a potential acquirer. Design files are reviewed. The risk management file is put under a microscope. Quality event history is scrutinized. And any potential gaps introduce valuation risk or block deals. For MedTech founders, your payout is contingent on how well you structure your systems early on. Early process resistance is normal. But the reality is, structured processes lead to faster FDA interactions, smoother investor relations, and better cross-functional alignment. Ultimately, that structure is what creates freedom to innovate. Now, for the solutions MedTech startups can use to manage quality. Let's start by looking at the differences between a QMS and an electronic QMS, or EQMS. With a QMS, manual processes meet baseline compliance. Electronic systems automate, connect, and scale quality. A modern EQMS is a single system that automatically connects everything within it. It creates a single source of truth. It automates and supports subsystem workflows like design control and risk. Version control and audit trails are built in. And teams stay audit-ready at all times. A leading modern EQMS solution is QuickVault by Veeva, which is purpose-built for MedTech teams who want speed without chaos. It's specifically designed for startups and small manufacturers. Its modern EQMS accelerates design, risk, and documentation. It comes equipped with a dedicated regulatory submission module to streamline market access. It's built to ensure investor and acquirer confidence. and it helps teams avoid disconnected system failures. Here's what to remember. Your QMS is your device's operating system. You should start earlier than you think. Quality accelerates innovation and commercialization. And early QMS discipline signals maturity to investors and acquirers. To learn more about this topic, explore these additional resources.